Hey guys, Ben here from Overland Trail Guides. I'm super stoked to talk to you about another awesome adventure. But before we get into all the details about this adventure, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you like what you see, please leave a comment below. And as always, you can get information about this particular route as well as dozens and dozens of other routes across North America at www.overlandtrailguides.com. Let's get into those details now. If you're going to take on the Anza-Borrego Discovery Trail, why not rep your accomplishments with one of our custom-designed adventure badges? You can get the Anza-Borrego badge along with dozens of other adventure badges at our online store. All right, guys, I was planning to do filming outside. It's just a little bit too windy, so we're going to do it in the truck today. So, Anza-Borrego Discovery Trail is the particular route that we're talking about today. It's based in Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. It is the largest state park in California at over 600,000 acres, and it has over 500 miles of roads and trails. So definitely a great place to explore. So let's talk about the length of the route. It's 216 miles long, and in terms of the recommended time of year, we recommend doing it from October until May. Otherwise, you're just going to deal with the scorching desert sun down in the Mojave Desert. So my favorite time would be to do it in late winter or spring when you start to get some greenery and things blooming down there. In terms of the technical rating, the average technical rating is a 3 and the peak technical rating is a 4. Let's get into the characteristics and terrain of the particular route. So you're going to encounter a lot of sandy roads. You're going to be going through washes. There are some washes that have rocks that are rather bumpy. And of course, you have those two major drop-offs as well as the Peepcorn Slot. They can be steep, they can be off camber. It really depends if state parks has graded or done any maintenance on them, at least in terms of the two major drop-offs. The Peepcorn Slot, I don't think it's any sort of maintenance. And because of that, we recommend a high clearance 4x4 to take on this route. Also, because of those sections, we don't recommend that Sprinter 4x4s. Try to manage this, especially that section through the Peepcorn Slot and Volcanic Hills. You're not going to be able to handle that. Now, the good thing is there is a slight alternative route, and that's really just to go around the section at the Peepcorn Slot. Maybe you have a stock 4x4 or something like that, and that seems a little bit too rugged for you. You probably want to take the alternative route. All right, guys. Let's go take a look at this adventure over on Google Earth real quick so you can get an idea of what you can see along the way, the discovery points, and all of that good stuff. The Anza-Borrego Discovery Trail is located in the California desert about an hour east of Greater San Diego. The route contains 24 discovery points along the way. Even though we started in the north in this particular adventure, we recommend that you start from the south near Montero Palms and Piedras Grandes and work your way north towards Fonts Point and Ocotillo Wells. Morning, y'all. We're right outside of Joshua Tree on some BLM land right here, but we're gonna head over to Anza-Borrego. I forget how long it is. I think it's like an hour, hour and a half to get over there. And I think we're actually gonna start in Ocotillo Wells. Probably gonna be madness with all the side-by-sides and motos and everything else out there. But so be it. And we're gonna work our way south, hit up some cool things, so should be good. Broke camp at Joshua Tree South and made our way through the scenic twists and turns of Box Canyon Road. Within an hour, we found ourselves within the madness at one of Ocotillo Wells' largest staging areas. Amongst the revving engines, clouds of dust, and general melee that would make Mad Max proud, we aired down and then made a beeline to the entrance of Tectonic Gorge. Like many trails in Ocotillo Wells and Anza-Borrego, Tectonic Gorge snakes through a sandy wash with sandstone cliffs on each side. The trail is what I'd describe as a fun trail, and the perfect way to begin a multi-day adventure through the California desert. After Tectonic Gorge, we headed over to one of Anza-Borrego's biggest attractions, Fonts Point. The sandstones, claystones, mudstones, and conglomerates that make up these badlands were hardened and sculpted from the earth over a 4 million year period. If you've never been, don't be dissuaded by the crowds. The vista atop Fonts Point overlooking the desert badlands below is quite the spectacle to behold, especially if you're lucky enough to catch the rising or setting sun there. After leaving a very windy Fonts Point, we continued south, zigzagging through the sandy trails of the Fonts Point Badlands. We didn't have a specific campsite in mind for the night, but we ended up finding a great spot in Borrego Mountain Wash about a quarter mile from the Borrego Mountain drop-off, which we'd take on the following morning. All right, so we got our camp spot tonight. Geez, I forget what trail we're on right now. But not too bad, right?
It's cozy.
It's cozy. It's protected from the wind.
We are on Borrego Mountain Wash, my friend.
We are on Borrego Mountain Wash.
Yes.
That is right. With camp set up, we opted to explore the nearby wind caves carved out of the sandstone. The wash provided a nice respite from the howling wind above us, but the view north towards Font Point was second to none. Chef Kelowna over here. What are we making?
I am making some salmon, asparagus, and I had a little leftover rice I just heated up.
Staying healthy, huh? Good morning from Borrego Mountain Wash. The wind died down. Did have one big gust that woke us up last night, but other than that, it's much calmer today, and it looks like it's going to be a good one. I don't know exactly what's on the itinerary, but I think we're going to go hit the Diablo drop-off here in a bit. And at some point today, we will make it over to the metal sculptures over in Borrego Springs. So that should be pretty cool too. A lot of people looking forward to that. So a lot of people wonder why we come out to the desert. And I think you really need to spend some time out here, not when it's 110, 120 degrees, but come in spring or fall, and especially in spring, the place is really bursting with life, but you also get to experience things like the desert sunrises and desert sunsets. Hard to beat this. After conquering the deep and loose sand of Borrego Mountain drop-off, we headed to the town of Borrego Springs to refuel our vehicles and our stomachs. But our primary objective while visiting this quaint artist community in the desert was to visit the famed Goleta Meadows. Over 130 meticulously sculpted pieces of art populate these meadows, which includes giant sloths, mammoths, scorpions, wild horses, dinosaurs, and more. A local favorite at the meadows, the giant sea serpent always seems to attract the biggest crowds, but for good reason. This massive sculpture is nearly 350 feet in length. What do you guys think?
Pretty cool. Just that, what's even more impressive is the sheer volume of them. I mean, actually, if you'd have gotten video of just driving in, right, there's probably 50 of them just on that one road.
We gotta take it. We gotta take it.
But before we could get back on the road, Ed noticed a knocking in his Jeep. A missing bolt in the sway bar turned out to be the culprit. Every crew needs a good mechanic, and Daniel is definitely our go-to guy for situations like this. Yeah, so we just disconnected the sway bar, and that's going to be the plan. Roll with it that way, and
That's all we can do. But for a vehicle with 6,000 miles on it, and it looks like it's been without a nut for a little while.
I don't know if that's the Americans or the Italians that screwed that one up.
Well, or if you're like me, an American Italian.
All right, so we're on Fish Wash Road. We just came from Borrego Springs and seen all the sculptures, decided to skip some of the stuff in Ocotillo, like the pumpkin patch, 27 palms. And of course, who's that in the back?
Thomas.
Yeah,
Thomas the frog.
Thomas the Frog. After driving through the mud and sandstone cliffs of Fish Wash, we headed over to the slot canyon known as Sandstone Canyon. And while it may not be as grandiose as Titus Canyon or Echo Canyon in Death Valley, there's always something rather cerebral about venturing into the shadows of a narrow slot canyon. The sun disappears behind the lip of the bluffs far above, and things just seem to slow down as we take in the awesomeness of Mother Nature's work. If you visit Anza-Borrego, make sure you've got the Sandstone Canyon on your to-do list. After Sandstone Canyon, it was off to the mud palisades. You can actually see the majestic palisades on the left half of this frame in the distance. These magnificent cliffs stand at over 200 feet tall. We'd make camp downslope of the palisades in Oya Wash, and the rising sun, with the help of the vertical faces of the palisades, put on quite the light show the following morning. right, so we just went up to the wash. We're at the mud palisades. Some of us parked back behind there because it just gets super tight. Yeah, check this out.
Morning, everybody. It's about 6:15 a.m. We found a nice little wash by the mud palisades last night, and it's been a really beautiful morning. The birds are chirping. People are just starting to get up. I got to go look at the mud palisades with the sunlight coming on it. It was really cool. And this is what we're looking at behind us. You can see camp back there.
Hey guys, we just left our campsite below the mud palisades, making our way towards Diablo drop-off. And just to clarify, yesterday we were at the Borrego mountain drop-off, not the Diablo drop-off. So today's Diablo drop-off, also gonna hit the mud caves, Canyon Sin Nombre, and some other stuff too. So it should be good. Just following the gang right now. Let's go check it out. I failed to capture any footage of the group going up Diablo drop-off, but it was much easier than taking on the deep sand and holes of Borrego Mountain Wash. With over 22 known caves and 9 slot canyons, the Tapiado mud caves are among the most extensive mud cave systems in the world. We explored a couple of slot canyons and one of the main cave systems. Keep in mind, the walls are made of mud and cave-ins can occur. If you plan to explore the caves, be sure to go with a buddy, take a flashlight, and use extra precaution when entering the caves. Watch your head. Hey guys, one of the really cool things about Anza-Borrego is you go through all these, not only different geological zones, but different zones with different types of flora. And this is definitely more like what you would see in the Sonoran Desert. We have cholla cacti, also known as teddy bear cactus right here. We got the Ocotillos, which are all green in this area, and just really green in this particular section. We're in Jojoba Wash, I believe is what it's called. So we got ourselves a little situation on our way to Peepcorn Slot Canyon. Trying to get up from the wash, up on top, and all of our options. It's easy coming down. It's just super loose and steep. Daniel's gonna give it the first attempt.
You have lockers?
Nope.
All right. As soon as your front hits the hole, you know, bank it left, right? And you know, so if you kind of go that way and then zigzag over.
Good.
There it is, there it is.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah! What's your strategy here, Ed?
I'm gonna stay to the right, go to the left, little forward low, front and rear lockers on, and just clench my butt real tight.
All right. Okay. Good luck, my brother.
Thank you.
While Daniel and Ed were able to make it out of the wash without any problems, both Joey and I needed a bit of assistance using the good old snatch strap. It's good to have friends that have got your back in situations like these.
It'd be much easier.
All right. Then try to figure out what's going on with this tire.
You could see the
Not long after making it out of the wash, Joey noticed an issue with his front tire. Daniel, being the master mechanic that he is, took control of the situation, lifted Joey's Forerunner using a hijack, and proceeded to replace the damaged tire with Joey's spare. All right, so we're gonna check out the Dos Cabezas water tower. We'll see if the spray painting is still up there. And so it looks like the two heads are no longer there. All right, so we're camping at Piedras Grandes tonight, big rocks. Lots of really cool granite boulders out here, granite mountains. But it is windy, supposed to be gust up tonight, 65, possibly 75. Hopefully we won't get that. There's been some gusts coming in around 30. It'll be interesting tonight, but it's really pretty actually. How was today?
An adventure, holy crap.
I think a beer well deserved, right?
100%.
Yeah. All right. The previous night, the wind only picked up as the sun set. The entire group agreed it was the strongest windstorm that any of us had ever camped in. One of the gusts around 3 a.m. came through with such intensity, Joey awoke from inside his Forerunner thinking someone was shaking his vehicle. The group packed up the next morning and made the short 5-mile drive to the highway before heading home.